Well, we guys, Wallabies versus England. What a cracking game coming up. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my predictions at the end and some talking points for the game coming up. So firstly, in the video, the talking points, I'm going to cover three main areas: history between the Wallabies and England, and what that shows us potentially about the match coming up, tactics I'm expecting both from England and then the Wallabies, and then players to watch from me for both sides. So what does history show us between the sides? Look, you look at the last recent 5 games between the Wallabies and England. The Wallabies have won just one of those games. That was a win, 30 points to 28 to the Wallabies in Perth in July 2022. So they only just scraped through on home turf there. And then the other 4 games, England won 21 points to 17, 25-17, 32-15, and then you look right back to 2019 Rugby World Cup where England thrashed the Wallabies 40 points to 16. So history shows there's been generally been won by England, and some of those games reasonably convincingly. So what are the tactics I'm expecting from both sides? Look, firstly, from England in this match, I just think they're going to bring that raw physicality. They're just going to look to run over the top of them, get that real set-piece dominance, smash them in the scrums, dominate the line-outs, take it to them on attack, get over the advantage line and test them at the breakdown, plenty of turnovers against the Wallabies and, ultimately just smash them physically. What I'm a little bit unsure about is I think on attack, England will smash them physically up front and then look to create space, giving it to Marcus Smith. I'm not sure what approach England will look to use on attack. So will it go to Marcus Smith? Will he spin it wide to their classy wingers, Funny, etc.? Or will they go to Marcus Smith? Will he look to do crossfield kicks or bomb kicks? Yeah, a number of different options on attack. And so for me, it'll be interesting to see how they look to take it to the Wallabies on attack. Looking at the Wallabies, they're a developing side. They know what's coming against England. They know that England side is going to test them physically. So I think they'll definitely look to match England physically. I believe it was Ben Franks is currently working as the scrum coach for the Wallabies. The scrum for the Wallabies was pretty good against the All Blacks. So they are capable of matching, physical international sides physically at scrum time. Again, the line out, there'll be a real area of accuracy and focus for them. And then on attack, look, I'm expecting them to really look to open up the English side. So if there's space to spin it wide in their 22, I'm sure the Wallabies are going to look to attack in their own 22 or just wherever to attack and score tries. Look, these players are Super Rugby players, and naturally their DNA is to play running rugby. So that's what I'm expecting from the Wallabies. I think the other thing as well, look, guys, Joe Schmidt, for me, he is definitely one of the best coaches in the world at the moment. So I'm definitely expecting a few tricky sort of moves or plays from Joe Schmidt where we look at that and go, ooh, I didn't see that coming. And no doubt he will have analysed that England side to the 10th degree. And so, there will be a few moves and plays from that Wallaby side that'll definitely test the English side in a few areas. So that's what I'm expecting there. And look, the Wallabies on their day, they are very capable of beating a number of international sides. So I wouldn't underestimate them. They're a good international side, although they are developing at the moment. Players to watch from me for both sides. I think, firstly, Lucken Salakai-Lotto for the Wallabies. Look, that English physicality, is going to need to be matched by the Wallabies. And for me, he is a player that, his ball carries are brutal. His work at the breakdown, his work on defence, he is going to need to be very physical against the English side. So he's a key player for me. The other one is Rob Valentini. Look, guys, I would say he's actually one of the best loose forwards in the world at the moment, particularly his ball carries. He is another one that is going to need to be brutal. Some very hard physical ball carries by him against the English forwards. And look, his work at the breakdown, his work on defence is equally going to need to be brutal and very, very physical to match that England side. The final one for the Wallabies, though, I think it's a massive test for Noah Lolesio. I'm expecting him to be starting at first five. We know what's coming. That England side is going to bring brutal line speed, brutal physicality on defence. So that's going to put some heat on Noah Lolesio. So his game management will need to be spot on. When does he pass? When does he kick? Leading that back line, leading the runners off him against that rush, brutal defence of England will be critical. So it's going to be a brutal game for him for sure. From me, big players for England. Chandler Cunningham himself, can bring that physicality against the Wallabies. Particularly his work against the All Blacks. He was brutal and physical. His work at the breakdown, set piece is going to need to be spot on, and he's a player that's really capable of testing the Wallabies. Ben Earl, Tom Curry, again, other loose forward players I'm expecting to be probably named for the England side. Again, their physicality is going to need to be really brutal and test the Wallabies. Ben Earl, for me, is a player, I think, particularly his ball carries, it'd be interesting to see if he can hit the line at raw speed, take it to the Wallabies and make it over the advantage line. Are going to be a real brutal test for him, but a good opportunity for him for England. Look, it's going to be a big game for Marcus Smith. I can see, if the English forwards can get dominance over the Wallabies, taking it to them physically, the ball's going to come to Marcus Smith, and his game management is going to be tested. So, what will he do? He'll have to recognise opportunities if there's space to spin the ball out wide to their classy wingers, or will he look to do chip kicks or crossfield kicks, or will they play it a bit tighter and do box kicks? Again, his game management will need to be spot on, and it's a good opportunity for him. But look, this year, I believe he's been world-class. He is a genuinely world-class first five, and so a good opportunity for him, but yeah, he's a hell of a player, Marcus Smith. Finally, my prediction for the game. Look, I think a lot of people are saying that the England side is just going to walk over the top of the Wallabies. What I do think is, I think the Wallabies won't be able to match the England side physically. I think England will dominate them in a number of areas at set piece, the breakdown, over the 80-minute game. But what I would say is the Wallabies are, they have one of the best coaches in the world in Joe Schmidt. He would have analysed England to the 10th degree. I think they'll definitely the Wallabies will have some plays that will come out of the blue and really test the England side. So it will test the England side, I think, more than we think. But I just think that over that 80-minute game is going to be too strong.